Hi everyone and welcome back to your favorite episode or your favorite series on YouTube, A Chat with Deb. I'm super excited talking with you guys. First of all, I'd like to say I'm very sorry. I'd like to render an apology for coming this late. We had a little bit of technical fault here and there. You know how these things can be. Anyways, first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has made this series worthwhile. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys on a very serious note. Anyways, on today's episode, we'll be talking about understanding your call. And with me today, talking about it is a wonderful person. He's a mentor. He's been known for raising young leaders, youthful leaders. He does that so well. Anyways, he's also the Chief Missions Coordinator at Greater Evangelism World Crusade. And to crown it all, he's an author. He has written so many books. And his latest offering, I'll show you guys just now before I introduce him here. Okay, without further ado, let's make welcome Evangelist Victor Ejimadu. Welcome, sir, to A Chat with Deb. I'm very excited that you're here after all the ups and downs with plenty technical faults. I'm really happy that you're here. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so very much, Deb. It's good to be here.
Yeah. We're very excited to have you here. And we'll be talking about understanding your call. So we'll dive straight down into the conversation. So please, what do we mean when we talk about someone having a call? What does it mean?
Okay, when we talk about someone having a call by, I just checked in the dictionary what a call is. A call is a strong inner impulse towards a particular cause. Strong inner impulse and inner drive towards a particular cause. And in a particular reference, we refer to the religious call. So whatever drive you have inside, whatever stirs you up inside, is actually a call. That's what they call it. Simple.
Okay, does everyone have a call?
Yeah, I think everyone does.
Okay, so why do you say that?
You know, first and foremost, we are not in this life by accident. So we have a purpose, we have a reason why we are created, and that reason is actually our call. Basically, if I want to look at it from the faith view, and which is the most important, we are designed by God to bring glory to Him, and in bringing that glory, we have different dimensions of bringing that to God. And I know that we have to touch one or two because of our discussion this afternoon. So I believe that everyone does.
Okay, so everyone has a call. Then how can we identify how do you identify your call as a person?
Identifying your call, it takes more than you.
Okay.
Because Yeah, some people have this call in them, and they will never discover. Some people will discover much more later in life. But there are indices. There are indices on how to identify a call. Even in the secular world, people in top management are trained to be able to look at those indices in the lives of people and to place them appropriately. That's why you have appraisals. You have especially those who are in the recruitment human resources. They have that ability. And then there are some places after your job interview, you need to see a psychologist who specializes in placing people that you belong. So there are indices to determine calls. One of the simplest way, I think, is by looking back. Is self-examination. Just look at your life, look at your strengths, look at what gives you joy, look at what you know you can do and it's easy to get excited about. Those are things that inform you that you will be called in that particular area.
Okay. Let me just take a lead from what you said. Doesn't now mean that we must love our call. It's very certain that you must find happiness, you must find joy in that call.
Yeah, if you discover it, knowledge is power. You cannot love what you do not know. I know that a lot of people are very scared about the spiritual call into ministry because that has to do with a lot of sacrifice. Yeah, but when you understand what it is and you go into that call in that understanding, you never regret that you did. So there is no way you will not find fulfillment in your call because that is where your joy is, that is where your strength is, and there is enough grace in that direction. So definitely you must enjoy your call. But initially, when you don't understand, that's why you hear people, especially those who are called to Christian service, who are called to serve God, maybe you have to leave some things. You see them struggle. But when you understand, you just know that it is the best thing for your life.
Okay, then I've also heard people refer to a call to mean purpose, to mean God's will. Is there any disparity? Is there a difference between these three? Difference between a call, God's will, and purpose? If there is, please kindly throw more light.
I think everything you just mentioned are the ingredients. They are the ingredients of the call.
Oh, okay. So purpose, God's will.
Purpose is in it. It's God's will for your life, and it's your calling. It is your area of strength. So everything you just mentioned are ingredients of the call. Those are things that form the call. They are part and parcel of the call.
All right. So can you just tell us more about, just a little bit about purpose? A little bit.
Yeah. Purpose is actually the main reason for your existence.
Okay.
And it is very important that we trust the Lord to help us to discover the main reason for our existence. Because there is this popular saying that when purpose is not properly defined, abuse is inevitable.
Abuse. True.
Yeah, so we need to know. I like doing this illustration with a cell phone. The primary purpose of the cell phone, the calling of a cell phone, is to make and to receive calls. So no matter how expensive that cell phone is, maybe whatever brand, whatever name, you buy for 500,000, no matter the amount, once it ceases to perform that purpose, it is as good as a toy. It's as good as a toy. Yeah. At best, you can use it as calculator, you can use it as touchlight, you can use it as a music box, but it is not fulfilling its purpose. The purpose for the handset or the phone is to make, receive call, to communicate. And when you are not achieving that, then it is fancy. So a lot of people are living the life of fancy. If you don't live a life of purpose, you're living a life of fancy. Yeah, so it's important that we trust the Lord to help us to decipher the area He has called us to in life.
Okay, so and then I want to go to career. A lot of people say, okay, because I'm in a certain, okay, for instance, let me use the typical example, a doctor. because you're a doctor, because you're in a particular career path, they now feel like that's their call. So can someone's career be different from their calling? Or does someone's calling translate into a career? I don't know if you get me.
Yes, I think I do. There are some people that are multi-talented. Talent is also an ingredient of calling, because if God gives you a call, He gives you the abilities. So when you look at there are some traits, there are some talents that are peculiar to a particular area of discipline. It is possible to be in a career that is not your call, but it doesn't mean that you should completely neglect your call. We know the kind of situation we find ourselves trying to make ends meet, especially in this part of the climb. You have to job that give you a profession that pays more, but even at that, I will not advise you to neglect your call. I'm sure you are not into media by training, but this is what you're doing, and I believe that you're finding joy in what you're doing. So you could be by vocational, like having 2 vocations or more than 2 vocations. So I will encourage anybody, if it is not your area of call and you can still develop it and carry the 2 along. Then there are some people whose career is their call. Like you just mentioned, doctors. It's not easy to be a doctor. There are qualities, not just having the brains for it. There are people that will pass the exams without having any seats in the medical school, but they cannot handle practical cases. They don't have the courage to even see blood. You shouldn't find yourself in that particular field. So there are some professions that you could say possibly is a call. Yeah, so some people's career could actually be their calling, but some people it could just be, a means of surviving because of how we find ourselves in the economy.
Okay, how can a person find their calling?
Well, finding your call, I think there are different ways you can. One is by personal discovery. You look inward, look at yourself, look at your strengths, look at what you do and you do very well without putting so much into it. Because one of the signs that you have a call, there is grace, there is resources. Just look at yourself and look at those your strengths. So you can find out your call by self-discovery, and you can also find out your call by having somebody guiding you, having a counselor. There are people who are well experienced. There are people who decipher. So you could also find your call in that direction. If I want to just cite some examples from scriptures, Eli and Samuel. When the call came, Samuel did not understand what the call was, but Eli told him, the next time you hear, this is where you answer your call. We could also look at Moses and Joshua. Then we have Elijah and Elisha. We have Timothy and his mentor Paul, Titus and Paul. So if you have people around you, they could direct you. Parents could too. There are parents that are good, they can decipher, they can observe carefully, and also encourage their children to go in that path. So when you have such people, they would assist you to discover your call. Then there are times that some people have the grace to see their call by maybe divine encounter. Joseph had dreams. He was seeing his calls by dream. It was clear to him. He didn't need any other person to tell him because it was clear. There are some people who have that divine grace to see their area of call, either by dreams or by prophecy. A prophecy goes over your life and it keeps coming. It tells you that this is the direction that the Lord wants you to be. So these are areas that you can, look at your call. But parents have a lot of role to play in helping their children and guiding them in the line of their calling.
Okay. So is it also possible that someone can, okay, let me put it this way. Are there implications of not fulfilling one's call?
Definitely, yes. Like I said, your call is like your purpose. So if you don't achieve the real purpose, like the handset just mentioned, you're as good as a toy. So there are some people who are just going around circles. They are really not doing what they should do. You could say they are progressing in error. And funny enough, they may think that is the best life to live, but only for them to, somebody preached a sermon. I think that was Reverend Stephen Akiola, and the title of the sermon is "The Man That You Should Never Meet." The man you should never meet. That's the person you're supposed to be that you never became. It's not the ultimate. Anything outside your calling, anything outside your purpose is an alternative. So that's the sad thing if you don't find yourself in your area of calling.
So that means there's the should I say the disadvantage or the fact that you have a chance of not even making heaven as a believer if you do not follow in your purpose. I'm just because okay, I just want to be very sure, because a lot of people say that if you don't fulfill your call, you are going to hell.
No, not really.
Okay.
What will make any person not to make heaven is when you use Christ. That's the only reason. Jesus said, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No man can come to the Father but by me." So when you accept Him, you are sure that you're making heaven. Now, in our work with God, there are rewards for our work, for our labor. And your call is a work, your call is a labor. So you be deprived of that reward. I believe that not everybody will be rewarded in the same way. Paul said, "I have finished my course. I have kept the faith." He talks about fulfilling the call. So he said, and now there's a prize. There are gifts that will happen on that day. We believe so, those of us who are in the Christian faith. So those people did not recognize and who did not fulfill their purpose and their call will not receive that particular reward. But I don't think it will cost them to be damned eternally.
Because we had a lot of preachers say, if you don't do your call, you won't make heaven. and I'm like, how about the people that do not even know anything about the call? Doesn't that mean that, but they've accepted Christ, doesn't that mean that they'll go to hell? Okay, so what are the practical steps? You talked about getting guidance from maybe family counselor, a mentor, and all. What are the practical steps after a person has found out their calling? What are the practical steps one can take to fulfill their calling?
Yeah. Having a call is not enough. You have to develop your call. Now, when we talk about call, we sound it's so much religious. But when you start to talk about talent, for example, when you know that somebody is gifted as a sprinter, it won't hide, because every inter-house sports, you see that person, just winning everybody in the race. When you spot such people, you will now develop them in that direction. And that's what a lot of these people that are in the more developed climate, that's what they do. They identify the giftings of people, which is also an ingredient in a call. Once they see that, they start training you from that age. You see things like football academy, you see things like sports. They take them, the stars today, you see them, they started training them when they were 12. Musicians today, they started training them once they discovered that they had strength in that particular area. So it's not just enough to have the call. There should be a deliberate effort to train in that call. Paul told Timothy, he said, "Fan to flame, stir up the gift that is in you." So you need training, you need the right knowledge, you need the right mentor, you need to learn from other people who are in the same field you find yourself, who are making waves in the same field you find yourself. Learn from them, read their lives. That's how you improve your call, and also trust the Lord and pray, because it is by the grace of God.
Okay, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about, so you explain to us the role of a mentor and how somebody can get a proper discipler, what it would take to get a discipler. We'll be right back. welcome back, guys. So, sir, before you tell us about the relevance of a disciple in one's life and in fulfilling one's call, we'll take questions. We have a question here, and that's from Belema Okpap. Say, hi, Debbie. Hi, sir. Then she asked, said, what should be our disposition at the time we're trying to understand our call so as not to be frustrated and back out? What should be our disposition at the time we're trying to understand our call so as not to be frustrated and back out?
Okay. One of the things that I will encourage every child of God to understand, you need to understand what is grace. When you understand grace, you will learn to depend on Him, and when you depend on Him, you're sure that He will carry you through. The Bible says that the race is not to the swift, battle is not to the mighty. The Bible says it's not of him that willeth, is him that runneth, but it's of God that showeth mercy. So, in course of that, I believe, just have that graceful heart. Trust God. That's the word. Just trust that God will see you through. There are some people who are late, who discover their call late, and they still made it back. So you just trust God at that particular time, and most times it will look as if is something that you cannot achieve. Go to Him, and God will see you through. Let's just have that heart of depending on God and depending on His grace, and be positive.
Okay, be positive. There's another question from here. Although, okay, so let's just take our question. I'll come back here. Okay. What's the role should as a person or as someone who wants to grow in the Lord, who understands that they have a call, should they make a deliberate effort, like you thought about, to look for a discipler or wait till the discipler comes to meet them?
Well, I think this generation is blessed with a lot of resources. God's people who are ahead. Yeah, in my days, I made effort to help, and we got saved before our parents. So it's not as if we had our Christian parents to guide us. So we had to look for guidance, and God was merciful to me at every point in my life. I had people speaking over my life, and I did not take them lightly, and I still don't take them lightly. I made effort. When I was in secondary school, I used to have a chap prefect. He's a general overseer today, Reverend Josiah Orisa. I have the likes of Pastor Anthony Fubara, Anele George, Akro Douglas. And I kept that relationship after secondary school, and I was still communicating with them. I would visit them in their office. I would hear from them, and I also had good pastors in my life. I had pastors from my children's department, my child evangel teacher, I would call it child evangel in my ministry, Pastor Raphael Onua. I had people in my teenage fellowship. I made sure I made an effort myself to make sure that I was connected to the right people. Then I try to look at people who I feel I have the same thing that they have, and I see how I build myself. I listen to them, I learn them, I read them, I listen to biographies, I listen to their interviews, I listen to their administration, and it was something I did deliberately. Now, for this generation, there are a lot of people who are willing to offer themselves to coach, to mentor, to disciple. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't get the best out of the young people of this generation. Now, the truth is that, see, any line you want to go, there are people that God has placed. Like me, I knew my line was in ministry from the onset. So I knew that I have to connect myself to people in ministry. There are believers who are professionals. There are believers who are great businessmen, believers that are great businesswomen, there are great believers that are in the academia. There are different aspects. You can connect yourself. And I thank God for what He's doing. He's not just expanding the kingdom within the church walls. We have apostles in marketplaces. You can connect yourself. Like what you're doing is great here on media. We need things like that. Look for people that are ahead, that have done great things. If you have the calling for singing, the talent for singing, we have singers that are doing well. We have sportsmen that are doing well. We also have, funny enough, we have traditional rulers that are born again. And they have a fellowship in Nigeria. Yes, they have a fellowship in Nigeria.
Wow.
We have full gospel businessmen fellowship, co-businessmen coming together, professionals coming together. You have a lot of forum to help you, to mentor you, to guide you, and to bring out the best in you. So we need to take advantage of such.
Okay. So please, finally, I just want to tell you to encourage people. A lot of people feel like when there are challenges, like, or maybe once there are challenges in their call, or maybe in course of fulfilling their call, then it means that that's not what God wants them to do. There's no calling them. Maybe God is telling them something to leave. What do you say to such persons?
In the first place, if your call is something that you can handle by yourself, I don't think God is in it. God will give us things that will make us to want to depend on Him. He will give you great visions, He will give you great assignments, and He wants you to depend on Him. And I want to encourage you, like I said, we should leverage on the grace of God. It is not by power, it is not by might. And I'm sharing what I have experienced personally. I grew up having dreams. I grew up seeing myself traveling, and I had no connection for myself. I didn't know how it was going to come out, but I had faith. I trusted God, and I've seen almost all of those dreams and desire I had. I've seen them come to pass. God has helped me. I've been to several nations. I've been to over 20 countries, and it has been my desire. It has been my desire, and my profession. I'm trained as an accountant, but that's not where I am now. I'm in ministry because I'm called as a minister. Yeah. Now, I feel so fulfilled in everything in my calling. You know, it's like I really don't know how to explain. So I want to encourage anybody, if you have a calling in your life, you have something the Lord is impressing you how to do. Trust Him. It could be in the area of business. It could be in the area of entertainment. It could be in the area of ministry. It could be there are some people that are called to even be in the university, to be lecturers, because we need Christian lecturers. We need politicians. We need born-again politicians. We need Christian politicians. Trust the Lord. Just trust the Lord and keep pushing on. The Bible says that the vision is for an appointed time. It will come, and when it comes, you will know that it is God that has done it. So there's no reason to give up. There's no reason to be discouraged. So you just keep it on.
Okay, sir. On a final note, I believe that there are people that would actually come across this video that would want to give their lives to Christ. I don't know if you could maybe pray for them and lead them to the Lord.
Yeah, that's my privilege. I love to do that always. Now, one thing about the calling, one thing I didn't mention, these things are inherent. They are tendencies that are embedded in you. Now, there are people who are progressing in the wrong direction. They have calls, but the spirit inspiring them is a wrong spirit. And let me just give this illustration. You asked on how to know your call. You see somebody that is monitor in primary 1, monitor primary 2, monitor primary 3, go to secondary school, you're a monitor. You just know that there is a leader in you.
Leadership.
You understand the point I'm making? Yes, you have that call of leadership. There are some people who are just blessed with brains. I have one typical case. My mom used to teach in the primary school, and sometimes I help her to mark her script. There is this particular lady, a girl then. I mark her script. She was coming first. At least all the classes my mom took her, she was coming out first. One day she walked in my office as a university undergraduate. As she came into my office, I said, CEO, I used to mark your script when you were in my mom's school and you were coming first. I said, I hope you're coming out with 2-1. That was what I said, and I didn't know what I was doing. It was later she came to me and said at that point when she came to my office that she has lost hope, that she was not even near 2-1. But what I said got her stirred up. She's married now with children. She sent that word to me on one of my birthdays. She said she was stirred up and she went back. And she came out with that 2-1. So we need to allow the right spirit to influence us, and that spirit only comes from the Lord. It's the Spirit of God, and you receive the Spirit of God when you open your heart to Jesus. When you believe in Jesus, His Spirit comes in you. His Spirit comes in you to give you assurance that you're a child of God. Nothing happens physically. Your face doesn't change, but in your spirit you have a peace that you're saved. And I'll be glad to lead you to Jesus Christ. If you want to surrender to him, if you want Jesus to be your Lord and your Savior, I'll be glad to pray with you. So wherever you are, just put your heads down and I'm going to pray for you. Just humble your heart, and in your heart, just say to him in any word, in any way, say, Lord, I cannot help myself. I cannot save myself. I look up to you. I can't help myself. I cannot save myself. Today, I yield to you. Today, I want you to be my Lord. Today, I want you to be my Savior. When you say that, trust it. Trust what you said, and just believe God. And I'll pray for you now. Father, I thank you for my viewers, wherever they are. I know you have touched the heart of somebody, oh God, who is down and out. Somebody, oh God, who has surrendered, acknowledged how helpless and how insufficient, oh God, he is or she is. And Lord, they have come to you. The Bible says that as many that come to you, you will not in any way cast out. Lord, I'm praying today that they receive the miracle of salvation. I'm praying today that they be truly converted. I'm praying today that your spirit will enter into their hearts and regenerate them. And you give them that peace and that assurance that they are saved. And today, Lord, I stand against every form of restriction, every satanic manipulation in their lives. I command that they be broken. As the light enters into them, let every form of darkness disappear. Thank you, Lord, because I know it is done, because we have asked in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you for coming on A Chat with Deb. Thank you so much. So, guys, he's an author, like I said before. Just watch. Thank you so much, guys. And we've come to the end of today's broadcast. Stay tuned till Friday. This is Friday, actually, till Tuesday next week. Take care of yourself. Have a wonderful weekend.